Thank you, and good afternoon to everyone here, and welcome to those joining us online. Let me just start by thanking Telecentre.org and our local sponsors, Attach, for putting together this wonderful event. We're going to actually try to shorten the discussion a little bit today to get back on time, so I hope you'll be patient with us in that sense. We're certainly around for the next 3 and we prepared with backup technology. So let me actually move pretty quickly to the slides. I will do a brief setup, and then we'll just go through the panelists. I'll have them introduce themselves in a little bit more detail and then present their slides. Hopefully we'll leave some time for questions and answers. We can set up the deck, please. As you can see in your agenda, the title of this session is Challenges and Opportunities for Public Access in the Next Decade. And as was mentioned this morning, this conference is all about looking forward. This is a little shorter term horizon, but as we all know, things have changed very rapidly in the last 10 years, and certainly will do so in the next 10 years. Let me just mention a couple things that we'll be thinking about in 2021, anniversaries we'll be celebrating. The Internet will be 60 years old in 2021. And the current form of it will have been in existence for 30 years. So in any case, not a baby, not even a teenager. It will also be the 50th anniversary of the first students enrolled in the Open University in the UK. Richard Fuchs will have been practicing telecentres and community outreach for over 30 years. It will also be the 10th anniversary of what we're witnessing today in the Arab world. And certainly, I think, many lessons further down the line. The world's population will be at nearly 8 billion, actually 7.7 billion, and it's very likely that almost every person on the planet will have one of these. A phone, certainly, a mobile phone, probably a smartphone, at least the majority will have a smartphone. And that dynamic alone will change the meaning of telecentres, the relevance of telecentres in the community as a physical place extending through the mobile world. So those are things we'll be thinking about and dealing with in 2021, and I would like the panelists to talk about their vision for the next decade. I've asked them to talk about 3 very broad areas. Clearly these are things we are all familiar with as practitioners. They're overlapping. They range in sub-details from data privacy to universal access to sustainability, things we've talked about this morning. Just a couple things that I've put in here under each area that are kind of reminders of issues we've faced in the past 10 years. Starting with policy, something that I call the dreaded digital divide. And the point really here is that many of the policies and activities in the past year were reactionary. We became very aware that there was something called the digital divide. And so there were lots of experiments simply focused on access and providing access and then seeing what happens. We've talked a lot this morning about the value and relevance of content and services, and we also already see many, many examples of that, and I think the next 10 years will bring many more. Technology, smartphone, dumb content. What's the point of bringing technology if it's not relevant for the local user? And models. Public access, locus focus. Past decade has thought about telecentres as a physical location. We're already very aware of the mobile revolution and need to consider mobile as an integral part of telecentres and community services in the next decade. So with that brief warm-up, let me just quickly go over our panelists and their current affiliations. Starting immediately to my right is Florencio Ceballos. He was already introduced with IDRC. Gabi Barna, welcome to our first female panelist of the day. Yes, in the afternoon, so not the morning, but the afternoon. We made it. And of course, Gabi is with Telecentre Europe as well as EOS Romania. And welcome to Rishan Dawapura from Sri Lanka, the CEO of the ICT agency there. So Florencio has a separate slide deck we're going to load, and in the meantime I'll ask Floro to introduce himself.
Let's speak from there. Sí. Buenas tardes.